Suppose I get the big speech. $1, $2 words in it.
Mulder, you're all washed up.
Put your best shirt on, we're back to make fools of the fools whose research lacks. Started drinking as a boy, now I'm an old man, but I just want one last kick at the can. So who knows what's behind that door? Just suit up, soldier, get ready for war. I'm sorry that you got it to be so, but this is not even a show. Sorry if you got it to be so, but this is not even a show.
Hey everyone, Prank Stallone here, and I'm still not back. Stop writing online that I'm back. I enjoyed doing the first one-off episode, and I decided to do a second one, so sue me. Seriously, get in line. I have about 20 pending lawsuits against me, so yeah, good luck with that. This week, Michael Tracey gets a call about a business proposition, Waynesky calls a radio host about his favorite type of whiskey, and teenager Paz Richards interviews a congressional candidate from Texas. First, though, you're not going to believe who's got their phone lines open up and who is definitely not expecting a call from us. That's right. It's everybody's favorite. It's the snake guy. Check it out.
And it points directly to Jesus being the Messiah.
Yes, sir.
Oh, he lost his head.
Yeah, I lost my head. Hold on a second. We have a caller here that has some comment on the Masoretic text. Give me just a second here.
All right, we'll bear with Charlie as he taps in the phone.
Tap it in. Just tap it in.
Okay, go ahead, caller.
Morning, caller.
Hi, Joe. My question about the Masoretic text do you realize that there's a snake right by?
And I just want you to know I still have a reason to call. I haven't gone away at all. I still have some more calls to make, and the reason is that snake.
I thought that's what that was going to be, and I will now block that number. But I had that inkling, and I wasn't going to throw him on, but then he kept talking, and but I was.
I'm glad to know that
the devil is still with us.
Yes. So okay.
Very good.
I had my finger hovering over the.
That's okay.
It's good
deal
when I put that on there. So, but yeah, they're still out there.
If you're new to the show, if you're new to the show, we have a group of fans that like to just call up and tell us we have a snake in our ear or behind us or whatever.
They think they're being cute.
All I hear is the voice of the snake, of the serpent, not this snake. This snake, but the devil.
Serpent. Hey, that kind of falls right into what we're talking about in Genesis. You know, the serpent, they just called us and everything. So
This is wonderful.
So thank you, Snake, for calling today. And now that I have your number, you're going to have to generate another one. I'm not a very good call screener. But
no, that's okay. That's okay. You know darn well that
we haven't had one of those in a while, so it was actually kind of fun to throw them on there just to
right on time too. So
yeah. So
hey, Charlie, we sort of kind of had one of those not just a couple days ago. Thank you for being here. If you like what we're doing, please hit the thumbs up buttons, the like buttons. I know most of y'all don't do that, but it helps. Think of it as a witness to other people who stumble across the show. Is this thing any good? Nobody likes it. Well, if you like it, hit the like button. It doesn't cost you anything. That tells other people, might actually be worth watching. And folks, I actually look for that. There's certain things that if it doesn't have enough likes, I don't pay attention with it. So that's a witness. If you think the show's worth your time, and if you're here regularly and it's not worth your time, why are you here? So you wrestle with that on your own.
Michael Tracey has been writing a lot about the Epstein files, so we decided to call him and give him a business proposition and see if he has any time in his busy schedule to do some other writing. Check it out.
Hello?
Looking to speak with Michael Tracey.
Who's this?
Hi, Michael. My name is Don Wedgwood. Just calling about a business proposition for you of sorts. If you would be interested, it's not like a call, it's a personal business proposition.
A personal business proposition?
Well, I'll be a little more clear with it. I represent a group of fairly wealthy individuals who have been accused of some crimes. We were curious if we could pay some money to you to write some puff pieces about our group, excusing all of the behavior.
I had a sense that this was a clever attempt at a phony phone call. I appreciate the business proposition. My proposition for you is to keep on trucking, Mr. Wedgwood, or whatever the heck you said your name was. And
do you have any shame?
I really applaud.
Do you have any
efforts.
shame, sir? Do you have any shame? Do you have any shame?
Have a wonderful day.
Don't want to answer the shame question. Don't want to answer the shame.
Do I have any shame? I mean, I guess
yes,
I don't have enough shame where I would spend my day making phony phone calls to
You don't even know how
figures.
to describe yourself. You don't even know how to describe yourself.
I mean, who are you?
You don't know how to describe yourself without being insulting to yourself, because you know what an absolute spineless quisling you are. Is that not true?
A spineless quisling. Yeah, I mean, how could I possibly be so bereft of shame that I would do a thoroughgoing journalistic inquiry into the number one political narrative that's been engulfing the nation and arguably the world for the past 8 months, and then subject myself to the torrent of vitriol, such as, although this is pretty much a harmless example of it, because you're not that clever, frankly.
I had a sense that this was a clever attempt at a phony phone call.
But then subject myself to this avalanche of defamation and slime where people think that I'm just defending people for grave sex crimes or whatever for no particular reason. Why would I go out of my way to subject myself to that if I didn't actually have a sincere reason for doing so? You think I just enjoy it, or do you think I'm actually being paid off by people, which I guess was the premise for your phony phone call? Because I'm not. If I were, then maybe my lifestyle would be a little bit more lavish than it in fact is. And I know you're not actually asking me these questions for any kind of good faith reason. You don't want to know my actual motivations for doing what I do. You don't want to actually inform anyone or yourself. You simply want to generate content, which I get. I mean, and got to respect the hustle. I'm sure you'll get a lot of likes and a lot of shares for whatever venture you have going where this is what you do, and you apparently think this is a good way to spend your time and it's productive and whatever, so more power to you. As you called, I was listening to the current hearing before the U.S. Senate on the national threat assessment, the annual threat assessment hearing, and I interrupted, even though this came up as a spam phone call, because I figured, hey, what the hell, maybe it's something that got wrongly filtered into spam. And it turns out to be somebody who thinks that, you're Howard Stern or something. Although Howard Stern actually had some funnier and a little bit more adroit people doing the phony phone calls on his behalf. This is just kind of lazy. So it's not even impressive on any level. And
do you watch
although at the same time, I acknowledge that you got me to spend now 4 minutes and 22 seconds speaking to you. So that's some measure of accomplishment. So
that's one thing that you can count on you for, is that you love to hear yourself talk. So you will.
I mean, you called me and you asked me a question, but then it gets boomeranged on me as I love to hear myself talk. I guess that's as good a time as ever to terminate the phone call. So have a wonderful day.
Paz Richards is a teenage influencer, and he's a conservative, and he loves interviewing politicians. And this week he interviewed a congressional candidate from Texas. I forget the guy's name. It's not a big name guy, but he had a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Check it out. I'm Paz Richards. Welcome to Politics with Paz, a politics show for young people, by young people.
What's up to everybody? Today we're joined by, he's a candidate for Congress in the great state of Texas. Everything's bigger in Texas. No, I'm saying, but thank you so much for joining us, Brandon Hawbaker. And Brandon, thanks for joining us.
You're welcome. My pleasure. So,
safe to say, young people, they ain't really into politics. They're like, miss me with that politics stuff mostly. I have one of my fellow young content creators, Jamie Waffle. He has even said he has like a program's called Knowlitics, like, miss me with that. Is that facts or thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, I do feel like politics have kind of taken an interesting turn because the younger generation has kind of figured out a lot of what's going on even before some of us, right?
Yes, they're more smart than what people think. Me and my boys, when we're hanging out and stuff, we like to toke every now and then and stuff like that and have a bong, but we actually know what's going on a lot more than what people think. I'm one of the few young conservative politics interviewers. A lot of my fellow young creators, like Davey Blaze and John Blaze, they are like saying things like, they're like, conservative politics is like for like old people, and if you like want to believe in like Republican politics, you have to have sort of like an old mindset and be like sort of not caring for people and more caring for yourself and all that shiz, and that they're like fucking lame and stuff like that. Like all the old politicians and shit are like lame, and conservative people, it's kind of like become kind of massive cringe, and that they're mostly like old fucking losers. Facts or thoughts on that?
No, I think that's correct. I mean, there's a couple of things I didn't realize until I ran for Congress. One of the things I realized was there's a lot of money that's kind of caught up behind the scenes with each candidate, where they have these big, powerful companies or corporations backing them, and that's one of the reasons.
Run by old people.
Yes, sir.
Just curious why you would choose to align yourself with the old time, the lames, kind of like JD Vance is like big time lame.
That's true. There's a lot of people across all parties really that are,
but
very
mostly
lucky.
The Republican Party is mostly all old losers. Facts.
Yeah, there are some younger ones I'm coming in contact with.
But they're mostly now. That's
interesting
find. You bring that up because there's a kid in my high school that I go to, and he's like really into like Turning Point USA, TP USA, which is like young people for that. Except for he's like a suit to school dweeb, like wears a suit to school every day, and people often will throw milk on him and shiz like that, and like really kind of like think he's a big geek, and nobody really thinks he's cool. Facts or thoughts on that?
Yeah, I guess there are some people that, do some mean things like that to people, but
mostly like the progressive kids who are like into like free Palestine and caring about people and not against ICE or not for ICE, they're mostly treated pretty good, I find. Any thoughts of running as somebody who cares about people next time around?
Do you mean running as a libertarian?
No.
No.
Well, one thing I won't run on is anything that's election fraud, right? Because right now, both the Democrat, there's fraud in the Democrat primary and the Republican primary here in Texas. So getting elected is kind of tricky with election fraud, right? So
yeah,
because of that, I'm willing to work with anyone across any party, even forming new parties if necessary, in order to break free from the election fraud. But I have to prove it first, and I have to systematically fix that before pretty much anything else, because otherwise you just run and never win because they're not selecting you.
They call that Forrest Gump style.
Right.
My mom needs dial-up internet now. She's always on my shit, and she needs dial-up. She got to call her tanning salon regarding unfulfilled coupon situation. Yeah, maybe talk to you in 6-7. Maybe talk to you in 6-7. Thanks so much for doing it, Brandon.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
Waynesky loves whiskey, but he really only likes one type of whiskey. And if you listen to the Guys podcast, you know what kind of whiskey that is. This week, he called a radio host who had some whiskey prominently displayed behind him, and he talked to him about that whiskey. Check it out.
Well, let's go to the phones. Let's go to Wayne. Yes, sir.
Hey, Bill, my good man. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm good. Yes, sir. What can I do for you?
I'm watching you here on the Rumble. I've just tuned into this Rumble. It's fantastic for anyone who's just listening. If you're just listening on the radio, you can actually see Bill live in the flesh, and it's a different experience. I really like it. I noticed you got some, is that whiskey behind you on the bottles there?
I do.
Do you have any Pappy Van Winkle, sir?
I do not.
What the fuck? What the fucking fuck?
See, that's going to be an issue with me, my man. I'm a whiskey.
Underneath my clipboard right here that you can see, I have a suppressed 9mm pistol, too.
Well, do you want to point that at the camera? That would be
No, I don't.
Cool.
No, I don't want to do that.
That would be cool. How come you told me about the gun after I said I had a problem with you not having Pappy? Were you just trying to...
No, not at all. I've never heard of that one. I'm actually a Scotch drinker. That's actually 2 bottles of Scotch and a bottle of bourbon.
So you've never heard of Pappy Van Winkle?
Well, that doesn't mean nothing, does it?
No, it does mean something, sir. It's the absolute best whiskey on the market, hands down.
Okay.
Everything else to me is swill, and I absolutely love to imbibe on some Pappy. And I just think if you're going to display bottles, it's like, you know, in gun terms, it's like, you know, you got the cheapest ones out laid out behind you. Why wouldn't you have the good stuff, the stuff that people can sort of be impressed by if you're going to be displaying it?
I'm not really displaying it. I just don't have anywhere else to put it.
Well, you're displaying it's right behind your left shoulder. It's very prominent.
Okay.
You've seen here on rumble.com. And
Gotcha.
I'm just saying, try out some Pappy. It's buttery.
I
You
will.
like your
I'll go
whiskey
look
buttery?
it up. I'll go look into it.
It's
Get me a bottle and try
buttery,
that.
my friend. You can put that stuff on toast. It's so buttery, I'll tell you what.
Well, that changes my whole complexion of breakfast, doesn't it?
Well, no, I'm not sure. You sure you won't point that gun at the can? Or can
No,
you
I'm
just
not
show me
gonna
the
do that.
gun? Can I
No.
look at it?
We're on Facebook, too. Facebook don't like that.
Facebook probably doesn't like that you have the gun actually displayed right there, to be honest.
You can't see it, though. It's behind my clipboard.
I can see it. I can see the handle and everything. I can see it as clear as I can see those cheap bottles of swill out behind you, sir.
Okay, well, besides critiquing my adult beverage, what can I do for you today?
Well, honestly, I thought maybe the one on the left was a bottle of Pappy and they had a different label on it or something like that. But I just want to impart that wisdom to you, sir, that the only good whiskey to drink is Pappy Van Winkle, as buttery as Mama's Toast. And if you're drinking anything else, I'll tell you what, I ain't too impressed by it.
That don't impress me much.
How come you got an extra microphone beside you there? What's going on with that?
Well, I have the one to my that looks like it's on the left there of the screen. That's for recording things, for recording voiceovers and everything else. This other one is a
Hang
live
on one
mic.
second here. No, I'll ask him, Terry. I'll ask him. What kind of mics are you working with there?
One is a Shure and one of them is a Rode.
So that's a Shure and a Rode. Those are yeah, I'm asking him, Terry. I got my friend Terry here with me. He's really into the tech side of things. He's very impressed by that, the Rode and he says those are industry standards. Those are fantastic microphones, and that you should be very proud of yourself using those microphones, sir.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it. I it's helpful to use the right tools for the right job.
Okay, I'll ask him what kind of headphones you working with.
Well, instead of us doing an inventory, is that all you called to do?
Well, I'm done with my call. I'm just passing on these messages from my friend Terry.
Well, tell Terry he should call me himself. I don't,
he will. He will, my friend.
Okay.
I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thanks. That was bizarre.
All right, everyone. Thanks so much for watching. And thanks so much, honestly, for all the kind comments on the first episode. It really, really made me feel good. And it's one of the reasons why I did a second episode. Somebody said I was aging backwards. That made me feel like damn Ryan Gosling walking around for about 3 days. So bless you and thank you so much. And I hope that you have a good week.
I'm
Sorry that I let the show crumble. Couldn't handle spending all day on Rumble. After I had my son, who's now 2 years old. But I've been itching to do some new prank calls. Did you hear that Dennis Prager had a bad fall? Now that's not funny, but let's have some fun anyways. It's not even a show that's full of pranks. And I wanted to come back to tell you thanks.